la kode kwanu bile ko kwando pe wai wakimba yua ko ya nwe ko kwando tane.
Good morning. Today is Friday, February 21, 2025. Pleasant welcome to Market News Update this morning with me, Zika Vlule. Ahead of our news update is our today's scripture coming from the book of Lamentation 3, verse 22. And it says, "The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercies never come to an end." And so God's mercy is sufficient. It has no limitation. That is our today's scripture this morning, coming from the book of Lamentation 3, verse 22. And our news update this morning: the resident circuit judge of the 5th Judiciary Circuit Court in Grand Cape County, Osman Thaker, has sentenced a 42-year-old man identified as Abbas Sanal for allegedly trafficking 31 kilograms of coach into the country. Defendant Sana was arrested on August 22, 2024 while en route from Guinea through Sierra Leone to Liberia. The street value of the 31 kilogram of coach is estimated at 100 million Liberian dollars. Defendant Sana is facing charges of unlicensed possession of controlled drugs or substances in violation of Section 14.89 of the 2023 Drugs and Sentence Act, as amended under Chapter 14 of the new penal law of Liberia. The 31 kilogram of coach was said to have been concealed at the back of his minibus en route to Monrovia. Following his arrest, defendant Sana, which was identified by the grand jury of Grand Cape County during August turn of court. Defendant Sana trial began during the November turn of court, with the defendant found guilty of all charges against him. The resident circuit court judge of Grand Cape County ordered the seizure and sale of the minibus that used to traffic the 31 kilogram of coach into the country, noting that the proceeds from the sale of the minibus will be directed to the LDRA in keeping with the 2023 amended Drugs Act. A tragic explosion occurred at the Sethi Ferron Fabric Steel Factory's oxygen plant in Monrovia Industrial Park on February 17, 2025, leaving one worker dead and prompting an immediate investigation by the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA of Liberia. The explosion reportedly occurred around 6:30 p.m. when an oxygen cylinder was being refilled. The blast struck Sir J. Samuka, a worker who was in close proximity of the cylinder. Samuka was found lying motionless on top of the cylinders and was confirmed dead at the scene. The EPA swiftly responded to the incident, dispatching a high-level delegation to conduct a preliminary assessment. In a statement, the agency confirmed it was reviewing the extent of the damage to the oxygen plant and surrounding equipment. Investigations are also working to determine the cause of the explosion and whether negligence played a role. EPA officials expressed deep sympathy to the deceased workers, family, friends, and colleagues. The EPA emphasized that its full-scale investigation is ongoing and will focus on whether human error, equipment malfunction, or other equipment malfunction, or other factors caused the explosion. A comprehensive report will be made available to the public once the investigation is complete. The agency reiterated its commitment to maintaining safety standards and regulatory compliance across industrial operations, especially in hard-risk facilities like steel factories and chemical plants. The EPA also used companies to resist their safety procedures to prevent similar incidents. At the time of reporting, the factory had not yet released an official statement regarding the incident. Seven graduate school graduates admitted as attorneys at law. The graduates were welcomed into the legal profession by George W. Smith, who emphasized the fundamental purpose of the legal profession during his remarks. 7 recent graduates from the Louis Arthur Grant School of Law at the University of Liberia were officially admitted to the Montserrado County Bar Association on Monday. The ceremony, which took place in the Civil Law Court for Montserrado County, marked a significant milestone for the newly elected attorneys. The graduates were welcomed into the legal profession by George W. Smith, who emphasized the fundamental purpose of the legal profession during his remarks. George Smith told the new attorney that the legal profession is rooted in dispute resolution based on the belief that truth will be revealed during courtroom trials. He further explained the distinction between two types of lawyers: giant seeker lawyers and truth seeker lawyers. According to George Smith, giant seeker lawyers view litigation as a battlefield, while success depends on skill and intellect. In contrast, truth seeker lawyers focus on uncovering the truth of the issues being litigated, prioritizing justice over victory. While skill, sophistication, and intellectuality are essential tools for a good society and lawyer, those tools can sometimes be abused or overshadow the truth, Judge Smith noted. He advised the newly admitted attorneys to focus on seeking truth in their legal practice. Consider Bonham Varman, president of the Liberia Bar Association, LNBA, also offered words of encouragement. He congratulated the new attorneys, acknowledging the hard work and dedication they put into achieving their goals. Councillor Varman reminded the graduates that the law is not just a career, but a calling that demands integrity, professionalism, and a commitment to justice. The newly admitted attorneys include Lauren N. Cissy, Romeo J. Clark Jr., Sienna P. Smith, Teresa D. Bright, Frederick J. Barkley, Dennis E. Kanokomo, and Kali C. Valley. And still here this morning on Maggie News Update. Sharif N. Yeni, a native of Laotasan, has officially launched the construction of a modern 18-bedroom clinic in Tassano Town, District Number 8, Nimba County. The groundbreaking ceremony marks the beginning of a crucial healthcare project aimed at addressing the region's medical challenges. Once completed, the clinic will provide essential health services with a special focus on pregnant women, children, and other vulnerable residents. Construction is set to begin this month and is expected to be completed by 2026. Mr. Yeni emphasized the urgent need for improved healthcare in the area, particularly for expedient mothers who also face life-threatening situations due to lack of nearby medical facilities. The event was attracted by representatives from the Nimba County health team, local leaders, and others, and a large gathering of the community members, all of whom welcomed the initiative and great enthusiasm. Many expressed great gratitude to Mr. Yini and his family for their commitment to improving healthcare access in Tassanon Town, Nimba County. Madam Betty Wajide, principal of the Lao Tassanon Public School in District Number 8, has made urgent appeal to the government of Liberia with immediate support to address critical challenges facing the school. The school, which serves students from early childhood education ECE through 5th grade, is currently operating with only 3 instructors. This severe shortage of teachers is significantly impacting the quality of education in that part of the country. One of the most pressing issues highlighted by Madam Yide is the lack of access to safe drinking water, posing a serious health risk to both students and staff. She urged the Ministry of Education to intervene by providing additional teachers and resources to improve the learning environment. Despite these challenges, Madam Yide expressed gratitude to Accidental Liberia for its ongoing support in supplying infrastructure, that's institutional materials to assist students. And meanwhile, Mr. James B. Said, the school's vice principal, vowed frustration over serving as a volunteer for more than 6 years without being placed on a government payroll. He extended his appreciation to Mr. Save Lulei for his monthly financial assistance and encouraged other community members in District Number 8 to support the school in its effort to provide quality education. And finally, this morning on Maggie News Update, remember our today's scripture is coming from the book of Lamentation 3, verse 22, and it says, "The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases; his mercies never come to an end." And finally, this morning on Maggie News Update, in the move of faith and unity, the delegation of esteemed clergies visited Honorable Samuel S. Hart, Mayor of Gompa, at his office on Thursday afternoon to introduce Pastor Ted Trahan, a visiting minister of the gospel from the United States, and his team, and to also offer a special prayer for Gompa City Mayor. Leading the delegation was Reverend John Bayoga of the Harvest Intercontinental Church and executives of the Nimba Christian Associates community. He was accompanied by Reverend Thompson Yomi and Reverend Amos Dodo, Chairman and Secretary General respectively of the Gompa Christian community. Also part of the team was the special guest Pastor Ted Trahan, an international minister of the gospel from the United States, who is one of the 2 preachers at the Faith and Miracle International Crusade, Ganta 2025. Following the introduction and brief discussion, the clergy requested to offer special prayer for the Lord Mayor, a request he warmly accepted, recognizing it as a both privilege and a blessing for himself and the Gompa City Corporation. As the prayer began, Pastor Treadhand, joined by other pastors, surrounded Mayor Hart as he sat in his seat with the eyes closed and heart open in reverence to the Lord. The minister prayed for Mayor Hart, his family, and the entire staff of the Gompa City Corporation as they continue to serve their people. In addition, Honorable Hart extended his invitation to attend the crusade, especially the opening day, which is February 20, 2025, which was yesterday. The Faith and Ministry International Crusade is taking place in Ganta from Thursday, February 20 to Sunday, February 22, 2025 at the Yene Football Field in the Yemen community, beginning at 6:30 p.m. to 6 p.m. every day. The crusade, which is expected to be filled with the mighty move and touch of God, is themed Jesus Christ, the same yesterday, today, and forever. Pastor Ted Churchhand and his colleague, Pastor Dave Javier, will lead the section. The two renowned evangelists also, with their team, has hosted crusades across several nations, including the United States and Brazil. The Gomba City mayor accepted the pledges for the visitation and expressed his belief that the hosting of the 5th and Ministry International Crusade in Ganta City is going to bring spiritual revival and strengthen unity. He welcomed the initiatives and emphasized its potential to bring transformation and peace to the community. Gomba City Corporation appreciates the prayer and goodwill extended to his leadership and look forward to the positive impact of the 5th and Miracle International Crusade in the city of Gompa and its people. And that's the news update this morning on Maggie News Update. Kindly join us on Monday at 7 for another splendid edition of Maggie News Update. Better still join us this evening for Maggie News Flow, which is indeed a 45-minute news presentation that captures major happenings in Liberia and, of course, the rest of our one world. Just before we leave, we'd like to apologize for not bringing you all of our programs this week due to some problems we've been facing with our main source of current here in Liberia. That is the Jongo Energy Power, but we are working modalities to make sure that everything is on course. Thank you this morning for listening. On behalf of the team, I'm Zika Flule. Remember, our today's scripture is Lamentation 3 verse 22. And the verse reminds us that we should be steadfast. We should be reminded that God's love is steadfast. The Lord's mercy never ceases. There is no ending for his mercy. It never comes to an end. And so this verse emphasizes the love that God has for us. It is constant, unwavering support, and not dependent on circumstances. God's love does not depend on the circumstance one faces, right? It has no limitation. His love remains constant. And if we talk about God's mercy, this means that God's compassion, his kindness are limitless. There is no limitation. No matter how difficult life gets or how much we may feel, God's mercy is always available to renew and restore us. So never give up. Always be optimistic that God is there for you. And so that is it this morning with the time 25 minutes past 7 this morning. Thank you for listening. Thank you and goodbye. Remember, we are also live on Facebook. You can share our live broadcast, follow our page also on YouTube, Magkie Magkre TV, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. Better see on Facebook, Magkre_S TV live, and you watch all of our inspirational message from the gospel and also happenings in Liberia and around the world on Maggie 90.5. Thank you for listening this morning.
This is the official voice of Mackie's Foundation International, Mackie's FM 90.5 megahertz for the best in Christian broadcasting. This is Mackie's FM 90.5 megahertz.